everyone else watching. Open mode is a very popular seed.
And we're off. Just arrow upgrade in Link's house, but Applejack opting for Sanctuary. Piece of heart.
JTN starting at Link's house and then opting to go ahead and do the Sanctuary route. Dragonstrike and Caladrius look like they're doing the pretty standard checking of the uncle. Not doing a tree pull, though. Interesting choice there.
And Applejack just doing a map check real quick. We got a standard pendant in EP, one of the 5/6 crystals up in Hera, and a normal crystal in Desert. So now we know what our light world looks like.
And just a little bit of insurance money from your uncle. That's slightly disappointing, but there are worse things to get for the first thing. But hey.
Nice chunk of cash there in the escape as well. That'll help them out substantially with things like the bottle vendor early on.
Between bottle vendor and being able to purchase your bombs, so you don't have to rely on farming them, that's definitely going to help out both Dragonstrike and Caladrius there. Meanwhile, AppleJackSix and JTN are going to be rupee starved going into it, so we'll see if they end up getting lucky.
They do check the Lumberjack Cave. It is a piece of heart, so no Aga 1 dreams just yet, although it's definitely not off the table.
All right, Applejack did go ahead and pick up the mushroom item, but I did not see what it is. Oh, it's a shield. Okay, so Fisher Price shield.
Just a little toy and a 20 hiding in the thieves' den.
So far, not anything really pointing our runners in any particular direction at this point in time. A little bit disappointing, but we still have all of Kakariko with their, dozen item locations that we have?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely sensing that we'll get some sort of progression in Kakariko or quite possibly Near Eastern, as that is typically what it's apt to be, although I could be wrong, and it could be on South Shore. That's the beauty of Randomizer, isn't it? It's random, so you don't know.
We really have no idea. Now, Caladrius saw a bottle, so going to go ahead and grab that fairy in a bottle in the maze game. That's interesting. He'll be able to route in the other sick kid location while he's in Kakariko. He'll have the advantage of being able to check this while everyone else looks like is coming in from the north. So it'll be interesting if that sick kid, if everyone else has to route that back around.
So Applejack just grabbed the boomerang and the blue mail, gambling that he would find bombs down there in Blind's house. But alas, he did not. So let's make another trip back there later.
JTN making that same mistake, looks like. Oh, JTN misplayed the push block game in Blind's hut. That's unfortunate for JTN.
Applejack grabbing our first sword in the well and some bombs so he can take care of that bomb wall. We can see what's back there.
JTN is just perplexed with that.
You gotta exit the building entirely, JTN. No. Or, oh, okay, I thought it didn't reset at first. I looked away. That's what I get.
No, it resets. I think he's trying to figure out how to do it.
Oh, and it looks like there's another sword in Blind's house in the bomb wall. So that's an early master sword. We could be looking at the small breadcrumbs of an Aga 1 seed after all.
Oh, that I would be super excited for that. Master sword this early oftentimes point to an Aga required seed. It's not guaranteed yet, but man, that would be exciting.
Yeah, we would still need the lantern for that to be the case. So if there's an early lantern, that definitely could be hinting at Aga 1 required. Although I have been trolled in the past getting an early master sword and lantern in the past, and then almost did Aga 1 only to find that I eventually found a glove and a hammer. So.
And how about that awesome sprite work that's done? That Mega Man armor when you have blue mail, it just looks awesome.
I will admit I was I never grew up with Mega Man, so I don't have quite the love for it that a lot of people do. But that is some really good detail on the sprite. I do appreciate the hard work that goes into some of these sprites.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to all the sprite developers that put so much work. There's something like 50 sprites that you can individually choose when you're playing this game. Everything from Mega Man to Will from Illusion to Gaia to various Link iterations to some references to our own community as well.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on a zombie sprite. Doesn't have to be like me, zombie, just an undead thing in general, so I have an excuse to run as a zombie.
Second Shield is on the library ledge. I don't think we're going to go see that anytime soon.
Nah.
Ooh, Applejack saving and quitting even after seeing the bottle there. Now, I did not check to see what was on the bottle on the sick kid. Don't know if we've had that check.
I believe someone did, and I don't think it was anything of super value, as I'm not seeing any real difference in Caladrius's inventory than everyone else's.
That's unfortunate, but it's going to be an item location that's going to be in the back of everyone else's minds that Caladrius will have already checked and be able to route that together. So that's still good news for Caladrius, just will not be as good news as it could have been.
And we're getting a dam check from AppleJackSix. See if the South Shore Dreams hold any weight. Generally speaking, you're much more likely to find something in the Mini Moldurm Cave than here at the dam or at Ice Rod, just simply due to the fact that there's more chests in Mini Moldurm. But I've also seen some stuff drained out of this lake, little pond before, like the Moon Pearl.
Soggy Moon Pearl, that's nice. Ooh. And interesting, Applejack looks like... Wait, what? Third sword?
So inside the dam was a third sword. You must have missed that.
Holy cow. So already with the Cheeto sword, we're less than 7 minutes into this.
We could be wrong about everything. This may not be a pet seed or an Aga seed. This may be a jet seed. Just clean cut through all the bosses and get this thing done and go home. Taking a risk checking Agahnim, since he can't really do anything else at all here in the desert. Also using his last bomb, which in my opinion he should have saved for Mini Moldurm.
Yeah, that's a risk. Now, if you're, a little bit iffy on your routing, sometimes you want to take some risk just to try to get ahead and gamble on there. Dragonstrike is doing what I would have done, is checked over here on Mini Moldurm. So absolutely. Applejack is going to have to go back and farm up some bombs somehow before he can get to Mini Moldurm. All right, so Dragonstrike first to Mini Moldurm Cave. He gets some bombs, some rupees, some arrows, arrow upgrades.
Another bottle. So only another bottle, really of value there. And since Applejack decided not to do the race, he would want to grab that bottle at the very least for covering your behind when it comes to safeties.
Yeah. Now we're running out of some item locations to check. With 3 swords, we'll still be able to do escape once we head off in that direction, and I think Applejack will end up going there soon. But escape and Eastern, and then we're out of location. So this is heavily starting to look like an Aga required seed.
Yeah, if they don't find either both gloves or a glove and a hammer between Eastern and escape, but they do find a lantern, I'm willing to put money down. Well, actually, be pretty much guaranteed at that point to be an Agassi.
Yeah, I think at this point, I'm going to go, if I were any of these runners, I would start out over in the Eastern area.
But there's the hammer, so now all they need is the gloves. Hammer was an Ice Palace, out of the way, where people don't like to necessarily check, although Caladrius is heading there as well.
That'll be important for Dragonstrike and Caladrius. Everyone's going to eventually have to go there. The hammer unlocks the most item locations in the game, so absolutely required. People will eventually go there, but kind of out of the way. Most people don't check that immediately.
JTN also opting to make the Agahnim play, which, as we already know, doesn't quite pan out. But he also hasn't checked the dam yet, so he's going to have to walk all the way back to the desert over to the dam or save and quit. Either way, he's definitely losing a bit of time there.
So Dragonstrike looks like he's trying to set up the fake flipper glitch. Only 444 rupees, but he does have the Moon Pearl, which allows you, if you fake flipper over to Zora's domain, you can get the 2 items that are located in the Waterfall Fairy as long as you have the Moon Pearl.
1 second. Holy cow, AppleJackSix finding the Butter Sword and escape. We have Butter Sword at 10 minutes into this seed. What is going on?
So all 4 swords were in Sphere Zero locations. That's what?
It's ridiculous.
Where are these seeds when I'm running?
Dragonstrike showing the hobo some love with some incendiary devices.
A little bit upset he wasn't able to get it. I imagine Dragonstrike will be heading down over to the Zora area with this warp.
Absolutely, and I'm sure at this point Dragon is gambling on trying to get 56 rupees out of the fairy cave in order to chain in Zora and make this sequence break a little bit more worth it in the long run.
Caladrius, they're showing off the risks of the fake flipper glitch. If you get damaged while you're swimming, it is an instant death for the fake flipper. The way that happens is because the game recognizes what otherwise puts you into an infinite loop. The developers of the randomizer community went ahead and just made it an instant death mechanic so that you're not looping, jumping into the water and faking it all the time.
So not enough money for Zora from Dragonstrike here. However, he's still going to check and see what's on the ledge before safe quitting out. Applejack grabbing their bottle finally. Green pendant in Dark Palace, according to Caladrius, as he checks Sahasrah's storeroom to see what he's hiding in his closet.
Still no lift upgrade. So even though we have the hammer, we're missing a lift upgrade. If it is not in the first few chests in Eastern, it will be an AGA required seed. This is getting exciting.
So, no, but that does mean we're going to find 1 of 2 items in Eastern Palace at this point in time, because we've seen as much escape as these runners can do right now. So in Eastern, we're either going to get a lantern, which means AGA 1, or the gloves, which means Dark World. Those are our next steps.
And there's always the possibility that we can find both in there, which would really confuse our runners.
And if you found both, then I would still go Dark World over AGA 1.
Oh, absolutely. Just the number of item locations that you can end up getting there. For example, we immediately were able to go to the cave formerly known as the Hype Cave.
Crowdy in chat also pointing out could be the book or the flute in EP, which could lead to further running around trying to find out what's going on. Red Boomerang, the most useless of boomerangs, the first item in EP.
Lagarang, it's called that for a reason. But absolutely, thanks for pointing that out, that it could be a couple other item locations that we could unlock, which would be horrible.
Dragonstrike finding their butter sword and probably wondering at this point what is going on, where have I gone wrong in life?
Also worth pointing out that that it could also be the flippers, which would technically unlock Zora, which means Zora could have something, so they'd be back to rupee farming.
Oh, well, there wouldn't necessarily be rupee farming, as we've already seen. There are enough 300s in this early game because Caladrius already has 744. If that is the case, JTN has the biggest disadvantage. Sorry for going Darth Vader mode there for a second.
It's all right. Worth noting, JTN stopped by the chat channel to wish us luck on commentary, so of course.
Oh no! Caladrius just picked up the lantern in EP.
Yeah! We're going to AGA, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe. There's still another... Well, wait, item count real quick. No, there could still be another item, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, still one more item in Eastern, and if it is a lift upgrade, that could be interesting.
Or if Zora has the lift upgrade and it's all a troll.
Oh my gosh. That would be hilarious. We're checking right now. What do we have? Nope.
Zora's not as big of a scammer as he normally is. You just lose out on 200 rupees instead of the normal 500 or 480.
Oh, always a lesson. Never engage in capitalism with a fish.
So Caladrius having more than likely the biggest advantage here with the lantern and the cane of Samaria, which doesn't open any more doors, but it's off to Aga we go.
Chat also pointing out we can, with the lamp, we can also get into the back end of escape now. So those 4 treasure chests are within logic. I might go ahead and do those before I do Aga, just because you never know.
Given the lack of any real dungeon progression at this point in time, this is me personally, I can't speak for all runners, obviously, but at this point in time, 15 minutes in, we've not had any way to fully clear a dungeon yet, and you have what looks to be the makings to beat Aga 1, I would go straight for Aga 1 at this point. But it does look like Caladrius is going to do escape. Whether or not he routes in back of escape with this, we're not sure yet. But odds are telling me right now it is Aga 1, and just to save time, I would go ahead and just straight up go take on that evil little wizard.
That's possible. I mean, keep in mind that these runners are still kind of tracing over each other's footsteps at this point in time, so no one's really ready to make the full Aga commit yet, even though we see it. Although it could be the back end, so we don't know 100%, but I tend to agree with you. The Aga dive seems like the safe bet at this point.
Now, granted, they're rocking blue mail, but still with only 4 hearts. That is a little bit painful to be doing Aga 1, but they have the butter sword, so I mean, realistically, no enemy should give them any grief whatsoever.
Caladrius looks like he's trying to set up the death warp here.
Switching over to explosives, he's going to go out with a bang, as you do. Or what?
Or he saved and quit instead.
Was that a mistake on his part?
I don't know.
That had to have been, because now he's heading right back.
Oh, wait, no, that's not a mistake on his part. Keep in mind, Caladrius ended up picking up that first bottle that had a fairy in it.
Oh, he doesn't want to wait. Smart. So I would have wasted the fairy then, I guess.
Yeah, so it's important to recognize that fact that, okay, he recognized that he had a fairy. He was going through the menus and immediately saw that. So, hey, good job. We've seen many runners forget that they have a fairy and then try to do a death warp, and it bites them in the butt.
I've seen top tier runners do it, so definitely nothing to feel bad about. Looks like Caladrius is going to go ahead and roll for Aga 1. Dragonstrike going somewhere else, it seems.
Oh, this is Dragonstrike's first attempt back here with a bottle. So he's checking Sick Kid.
Really holding on to hope that he doesn't have to do Aga 1.
Yep, this was one of those things that differentiates Caladrius from some of the other runners. He was able to check that and route that in at the same time. Dragonstrike just wasting a lot of time right there trying to put off Aga.
Yeah, it would have been much more useful to him to try to route that bottle kid back into a later trip to Kakariko, perhaps for Flute, or if you get the mirror and you're doing Thieves Town. That would have been a better time to route in that bottle check at this point.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there. I mean, I can understand him wanting to do that and absolutely wanting to avoid the Aga play, but it does seem to be the right play at this point in time. Still a little bit surprised no one's checked the back end of Escape. It could be interesting. So we do see Dragonstrike now making the Aga play. Caladrius is in there. AppleJackSix is still in Eastern Palace waiting for that item. JTN looks like he's finally making his way to Eastern as well.
Applejack not quite able to get that damage boost to the button, so he's probably going to have to try to kill all the enemies.
Yep, takes a little bit longer, and this skeleton is hiding off in the corner.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
So AppleJackSix saves and quits and slowly coming to the realization maybe he has to do Aga as well. Again, I'm still surprised there are enough people who hate doing the Aga climb so much that they haven't checked the back end of Escape. There's 4 treasure chests back there that they can get.
And I can't remember, did they find the map and the key in front?
They found the map. They have not found the key. So
actually,
I guess, yeah, it's only the one, unless that one has the key.
Exactly. So, truth be told, once again, we're looking at a better gamble of Aga 1 here. But Applejack is going to take the bait and see if the dark room has a small key.
And this is a play that could make the difference in this run. If there's a lift upgrade here, that will save AppleJackSix a ton of time not having to do the Aga climb.
Yeah, which, granted, Caladrius is right now fighting Aga 1, so it'll boost him up. I don't think it would put him in the lead unless his... Oh, there's the small key.
Oh, this could be something good.
Get your hype ready, chat.
Meanwhile, Caladrius and Dragonstrike are both doing the world's longest cutscene in an Aga fight.
It is so agonizing to have him just shoot, to have him just shoot one at a time, and like most of them could be blue balls if you're unlucky.
Oh no!
Back of Escape holding nothing. Aga 1 was the play. Looks like we got our other red crystal in Swamp Palace, and I missed the 2 pendants.
Well, we already knew that Palace of Darkness was the green pendant. I did not catch the other one.
The other one looks to be... I even missed it on the mainstream. Wow. If Thieves Town's a pendant. Thank you very much, chat.
So Aga was the play. That was the most disappointing Escape, I think. I mean, we got a sword out of Escape, which, when you have 4 swords already. All right, so Dragonstrike finishing up Aga. AppleJackSix now starting his Aga ascent.
Caladrius heading down to the Hype Cave.
We'll see if Hype Cave actually has something. We haven't gotten enough items. It feels like this could be something. It's certainly locked behind the other items, so here we go.
Yeah, because as of right now, there's still no dungeon progression right now. There's no bow for Palace of Darkness or EP. There's no book or boots for Desert. No glove and mirror for Hera. Or I suppose you just need glove or flute plus hookshot to access Hera since they have the hammer.
And Hype Cave's still a dud. My God. This is just painful.
It is. It's very painful. At this point, if I were him, I would be looking... I mean, it's a long shot either way for Caladrius, but Catfish or Dig Game. It looks like he's heading towards Dig Game right now. Or Woody. Stumpy.
Dragonstrike making a risk here for Palace of Darkness. That's a gamble that might pay off. We'll see what's in this first treasure chest.
First treasure chest holds a small key, which it's more than likely apt to do. That can give him quite a few chests to check out, so we'll see.
JTN also... There's a lift upgrade!
There's gloves. There's a glove, so that gives them access to Village of Outcasts.
So, Dragonstrike1988 making the gamble, paying off.
And chat, my statement still stands. You can still go check out Catfish because now they're not glove locked. Huh.
Who made this seed? I mean, gave them so many swords and said, nope, you're going to have to double dip into a lot of different places here.
Pretty sure Rick made it. Hashtag Rickrolled. All I know is we can't blame Willard this time.
We cannot blame Willard this time, which, I blame Willard for a lot of things, even though Willard is awesome. So I need to stop doing that. All right, so Dragonstrike looking... I mean, he's going to be doing the South Hyrule route now in a much better position than Caladrius, which really... Oh, Caladrius is now going over to check Agahnim's cave to see maybe I missed something.
No, my friend, you did not, sadly. So odds are we're going to see Dragonstrike just check this, and then odds are safe quit and head to Village of Outcasts. Be a smart play to make.
And Hype Cave, even when the odds are stacked in its favor, is still disappointing. And Dragonstrike with the bomb drops, and then realizing, wait, I only have 3 bombs left. Yeah, so the main find that we know that leads to the progression is you have to make a dip into pod to get the first lift upgrade. That is such a trolly location for that item.
It is, very much so. Dragonstrike not being frugal with his bombs to show his displeasure at all these locations that are not giving him what he needs. Although at this point in time, I dare say, despite it being a pendant, Thieves Town very well may be the play to make right now.
Well, right now he'll have access to Thieves Town and he'll have access to Skullwoods as well, which, although it only has 2 items, has been a treasure trove in this open mode.
All very true. Caladrius doing a very strange route here.
AppleJackSix looks like he's looking at the map and just thinking. It's like, what can I possibly get?
Hopefully he makes that pod call as well. We'll see. Getting trolled by the fairy.
Oh, Dragonstrike doing the back end of escape we know that he's not going to find anything, but a little bit more efficient check than AppleJackSix was able to make earlier.
Oh, certainly. And also, this is going to tell him that he doesn't need to bother with the dark room because the only item that will be left is the key. So he has no business going into the dark room.
Remind me to ask JTN why he likes his mouse cursor on his screen, because that's...
Keeps him company, man. It gets lonely sometimes when you run these things.
This is true. We are approaching the 30-minute mark. Other than the required dips into Eastern and Pod, and they were both required dips because you had to get an item and then leave. We haven't really seen a whole lot of dungeon action yet, have we? All right, so we're checking here. Looks like Dragonstrike is going around and getting ready to enter the Dark World from Kakariko. This will allow him access to both Skullwoods and Thieves Town, and the Village of Outcasts, which has several treasure chests located in it as well.
Looks like he's going to make that Skullwoods play first, which is always one of my favorites.
Yep,
Doesn't take too terribly long. At most, you're looking about 5 minutes at a chance of 2 items in relatively short order. So, and it also means you never have to come back here again until you find the fire rod.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of keys that are kind of spread around here that as soon as you find the 2 items, just go. Just get out of here, because a lot of the treasure chest locations are actually worthless.
There's item number 1, just useless bomb. Also means that he's going to have to make the seldomly seen detour through this side room. For those of you that don't know, or that are newer to Randomizer, that wonders why no one ever checks this room in open mode. In open mode, this room is, I want to say it is 100% guaranteed to be a key every time. Am I correct in that?
Yes, I believe it is. Just because of how the logic works, you could be key locked if that isn't a key.
Yes. So to prevent key locking, that room is always going to be a small key, simply because there is a locked room that you never have to enter because there's nothing of value inside of it later on in the dungeon. So they can afford to have a spare key just sitting there. So you typically never see a lot of people checking that room unless those first 2 items in that dip are not keys, preventing you a way to escape.
JTN not going to Palace of Darkness, but AppleJackSix looks like he's making the right play. So AppleJax will be the 3rd runner with the gloves. Caladrius does also have the gloves as well.
Yeah, and actually it looks like Caladrius is heading up to Death Mountain.
Interesting play. You'll be able to get the old man, plus be able to check to see what is in on Spectacle Rock and in the cave up there. So 2 guaranteed items locations, but unless you have either the hookshot or the mirror, then you're kind of locked at that point in time. So
yes, but it is also going to give him a new save quit spot to go to if they don't find the flute anytime soon. So that's useful.
Oh, absolutely. Once you get the flute, the Death Mountain location is the most efficient because you can refill your health with a quick kiss to the old man and then leave without having to walk out of the temple like in Sanctuary.
Always got to love it when Grandpa gives you a kiss on the cheek wishing you good luck on your adventures.
All right, so Dragonstrike is going through now the Village of Outcasts area. Hasn't found a whole lot of value up to this point in time.
We are seeing boots up there on Spectacle, though.
Das Boots.
The second they get Mirror, that's a play to make right there. Save yourself a lot of time on traveling.
Meanwhile, Caladrius saves and quits out, knowing that he can't really get anything else, but he has some options at this point in time.
It would be very interesting to see if the mirror is here in if they find a mirror and a book in here in Thieves Town. That's going to open up a desert for them.
So the question becomes, there are 4 item locations here in Thieves Town. Do you go ahead and clear out the entire location, or do you get your 4 items and then leave?
Oh, absolutely. I would go ahead and clear it. Even with 5 hearts, you've got Cane of Samaria, which allows you some extra strats to try to avoid damage from blind if you're not as proficient with him. And of course, if you're very proficient, if you can learn, because it's a scripted fight, he moves in the same patterns every single time. So if you can learn that script, the fight is nowhere near as bad, even with a low amount of hearts. But if you don't know the script very well, or if you're not that great with blind, having the Cane of Samaria allows you to just lay down that block in his pathway, and he'll take damage every time he passes over it, while you can focus on avoiding the fireballs. So even with 5 hearts right now, I would say go ahead and clear out Thieves Town unless you find all 4 items before blind. Chat, boots were on top of Spectacle Rock, so it's locked behind the mirror at this point in time.
That could make it interesting for Desert Palace in particular, because Desert Palace has the capacity to be boots locked if an item is locked behind the item that's on the torch there. So it's possible that, I mean, we already know mirrors required, but boots can sometimes be required. They're not an always required item.
But they're definitely a nice quality of life item to have in this run. Effectively 10 hearts. What more do you need to kill blind? Skill. You need skill.
It's true. The interesting thing about blind is that it's always going to be 3 hits, kind of no matter what, for every head. It doesn't matter if you have fighter sword or butter sword or use any other item. It's always going to be 3 hits. So this is the one dungeon that getting through it, butter sword is certainly an advantage, but for the boss fight, not so much. All right, so Dragonstrike making his way through. AppleJackSix looks like he's thinking, counting items maybe. And Dragonstrike pulls the bow and immediately saves quit. That's the 4th item. So instead of opting to go ahead and fight and kill blind, opting to get on out of here because the bow does unlock some certain items. Will allow you further access deeper into Palace of Darkness, as well as clearing of Eastern Palace.
Absolutely. Now, Pod is a green pendant, and Eastern is a normal pendant. So clearing them completely is not necessarily required, although a green pendant is always nice to have in case Sriracha has some saucy items. But, Pod does have 5 items in it. They found 1. They got 4 more. That could definitely be something important. Absolutely.
And you see, with that bow, I would have gone ahead and killed blind because that's the other pendant. So you have access to clear all 3 pendant dungeons and really not much else at the moment.
Yeah,
this is pointing.
It could be a pet seed, absolutely, but they still have no proof of that. And unless the situation gets dire, I wouldn't concern myself with it that much. What is JTN doing? Oh my goodness, he could have gone into the fairy cave and did the walk on water glitch. I'm not sure if he meant to do that or not.
I don't know either.
But yeah, as far as clearing all pendants right now, I wouldn't do that just yet. It would be in the back of my mind, absolutely, because this seed has been a little bit trolly so far. I wouldn't, think twice about it still being a pet seed, absolutely, given what we've seen so far.
I think at the least, if I were in Dragonstrike's shoes, I would have taken blind up to the room so that if I need to go back and kill it all and kill blind, it's
absolutely.
right there.
Absolutely, I would have as well, because that's super important to have. That way you can just dip back in and do it. But literally, at this point in time, these runners have no way of clearing a single crystal dungeon yet, and we are 40 minutes in.
Yeah, it's pointing heavily towards something else being in pod at this point in time, it feels like. We've already gotten all the items in Thieves Town. We can't really... So let's do a quick rundown. Desert Palace, we can't even get into. Tower of Hera, can't even get into. Swamp Palace, can't get into. Skullwoods, already cleared out that. Yeah. Ice Palace
can't get into. Mire can't get into. And Turtlerot can't get into. So literally, like, there is no access. What is JTN doing?
I think JTN's just putting on a good show for us at this point.
Fair enough.
So yeah, it looks like Caladrius is going to be getting his bow next. Dragonstrike still holding out hope that he doesn't have to go back into pod. Oh my goodness.
Like that, I don't understand why he wouldn't think that. I mean, pod seems to be the obvious play at this point after getting the bow and seeing what little value there is elsewhere in the world. Unless Catfish is hiding something, I would absolutely be going for pod.
Catfish, if you're really hoping for overworld locations and really trying to avoid going back into pod, then yeah.
Now I know from V28, from V27 to V28, V28 made it to where there are more valuable progression items in overworld, whereas V27, the most of your progression was in dungeons. They definitely wanted to try to spread it out a little bit more in V28. So, Catfish definitely has the chance of holding something, but pod has more items available, so it's a better choice to make at this point in time.
Absolutely. Chat pointing out that it seems like JTN may be not fully aware that there is one item location that he can get in pod right now, guaranteed, because he hasn't gone there yet. So Dragonstrike now making the play into pod. We'll be doing that right side now with the bow.
I do believe JTN's mouse is starting to become a meme in chat. It's a wonderful thing. I definitely have to say, while he's not as caught up as the other three runners are, he's still just as entertaining right now.
And it feels like JTN's tilted, and I feel bad for him because we've all been there. We've all been in that point where we're running and we just blank, and we have no idea what's going on, and we run around like foolishly.
Caladrius grabbing their bow, and looks like they are going to deliver the maiden up top.
That's going to be solid. We may see Caladrius go ahead and defeat Blind, which would definitely be a solid play if this ends up being a pedestal required seed.
Yep, it would prevent him from double dipping in the future.
So here we go, Caladrius with his blind fight. Dragonstrike with 2 keys, going to check a couple different treasure chests. Still nothing in pod yet for him. And Caladrius showing off these Cane of Samaria strats we were talking about earlier. Well done, Caladrius.
Caladrius grabbing his pendant. First dungeon clear of the race at 44 minutes in.
AppleJackSix also right there with it. Opts to save and quit instead of fighting blind, though.
Yeah, it looks like he just wanted to get it delivered. That way, if he has to come back for the ped, he can just run in and do the fight real quick, whereas Dragonstrike is going to have to go all the way back down to the basement. And AppleJack is probably going to head straight on over to pod as well as Caladrius if I'm a betting man. Well, actually, no, AppleJack may be heading somewhere else.
All right, we see Dragonstrike getting trolled a little bit here from this horrible, horrible monstrosity. I hate the red squiggly squid things.
Crystal beetles, I believe is what they're called, if I'm not mistaken. And JTN finally going to grab his glove.
Yes, that's the way. Go, JTN, go!
We're still cheering for you, buddy. You can do
Caladrius
this.
looks like he's doing the catfish check in the meantime.
Will he be catfished, though?
The hook shot! Dragonstrike pulls the hook shot in Palace of Darkness, in that dark room.
So, for me at that point, if no other items are found right now in Pod, this screams to me, get your butt to Death Mountain and complete Tower of Hera. Do Eastern Death Mountain and do Tower of Hera. That's where your next progression is going to lie.
Yep, Caladrius finding just some soggy bombs from the catfish, so unfortunately catfish was not the right play. We still have a couple item locations here from Dragonstrike, 10 arrow upgrade. So if you're Dragonstrike, do you go ahead and complete the dungeon?
That is a tough call. It is a green pendant. He does have a lead, but he doesn't know that as far as on the restream here. If I were him, I probably would go ahead and complete it just so I don't have to double dip later in case something is on Sahasrahla.
No mirror at this point in time, so you can't mirror over to check Sahasrahla once you're done, but I tend to agree. I think at this point, you go ahead and complete it. And it looks like Dragonstrike is going to do just that. Caladrius now on his way over to Pod right at the moment. JTN going up Death Mountain for disappointment. At least for knowledge, though.
Oh, maybe. Oh, no. JTN taking a death to the fart squirrels.
Oh, but he has a fairy, and that's nice because he didn't quite have the old man in his location. Now he has a save point there, so that's good. And I think JTN just realized his mouse was on screen and removed it. The mouse is the all-star, JTN. Bring it back. JTN not happy about that boot being there and doesn't even check. Boy, this is going to be the most disappointing check ever once he goes here and sees it's a green rupee.
Very, very bad call on that one. Also, as chat pointed out earlier, Helmassar also does have the last item, so all in all, this is still a quality play to make on Dragonstrike's part.
By the way, that's the first time I've ever heard that called fart squirrels. I'm totally going to be borrowing that.
By all means. I just started calling them that recently because I hate them more than anything else in this game. And they're little squirrels, as best I can tell from the sprite, so.
Meanwhile, let's check in. AppleJackSix is also in Pod at this point in time, quietly making... I feel bad because we've been paying attention to everyone else but AppleJackSix. So Applejack doing solid work here, just kind of a workman-like effort.
And Dragonstrike making very quick work of Helmassar with that butter sword. One spin slash and a swipe later, and the big scorpion dinosaur is down. And he gets a heart for his trouble. Which is rather nice.
Container.
This has been a rather unhealthy seed so far as well.
Very sickly. I mean, I think Dragonstrike has the most hearts with 8, and we're 50 minutes in. This is straight up sickly. Caladrius now, with his hook shot, that's pointing to Death Mountain as soon as he can, but I think he's going to go ahead and finish up the place as well. So Dragonstrike going ahead. We're going to see what's on Death Mountain here. Still only one lift upgrade. This has been a trolley seed.
Absolutely. And looks like Dragon is thinking exactly what I was thinking earlier. Go clear Eastern Death Mountain, do that Paradox Cave run, and then head straight on up to Tower of Hera. If I were him, how I would route this, do Paradox Cave, get up, go do Tower of Hera, save Spiral Cave for when you're done, so you don't have to climb up back up again.
Absolutely. Now, if there's nothing here, there's absolutely a possibility that nothing is here. At which point, we're looking at going ahead, clearing out Eastern, and doing a blind pedestal pull, which at this point, I'm rooting for.
Oh,
Silvers.
That's going to make some bosses a lot less of a headache. Vitreous.
Absolutely. And given how prominent, I mean, you get them early and you've only cleared one boss. I mean, good time for Silvers.
Early is a relative term here.
Yes, absolutely. Uh-oh, two more chests. Hey, Ruby!
Oh,
yes!
We still have Tower of Hera. Tower of Hera is clearable. They have a lantern. They can clear Tower of Hera. Oh, falling from that bomb jump. Unfortunate, but not the biggest time loss in the world.
And it's interesting, Caladrius did not go ahead and beat Palace of Darkness. So if it is a pedestal required seed, Caladrius will have to go back to clear Pod. Dragonstrike will have to go all the way clear down to the basement back to get blind.
Oh, yeah, this is looking rather saucy. I like it. I am loving this seed so much. Just a heart container, or a piece of heart, rather, on the floating island.
Here's looking at you, Rick. Adirondack Rick, our wonderful friend, made this seed. This could be a horrible, horrible seed that Rick made for us.
I'm hoping for it.
All right, we'll see. We could be fire locked. Oh wait, we have a lamp. Okay, we have
a lamp because we have to do Aga 1.
Oh man.
No, the pet dream is still there, but just a little bit less likely right now.
Here's the thing: it still doesn't unlock anything for us right now.
Oh my goodness, you're right. They would still need like the flute or the flippers.
Yeah, it still does not unlock a thing, even though that's super nice.
Nope. It does unlock Eastern Dark Death Mountain.
Okay.
So they'd be able to do Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave.
Whew, okay.
Oh no! Dragonstrike missing his chance to take a coffee break.
So we have an Aga required, Hera basement required. Could this be a ped seed required? It's looking likely, but the chances just went down. The hype meter for a pedestal required went from like an 8 to a 6 right there.
I didn't realize Rick was also running in this, so at least it's definitely not a Plando then.
Oh, absolutely not. Although it could be a Plando that Rick made and he's still not done with it.
That would be a little bit unfair. I don't think that would ever happen.
No, I don't think it would either. The admins and most of the community for this part, very honorable. I think people have pointed out how easy it would be to necessarily quote-unquote cheat by stream sniping, but by and large, that's one of the things I love about this community is that people respect the race and respect each other in the community. So shout out to you guys. You're awesome.
Yeah, you will often find that if you were to go to these runners' streams right now, most of them have notations stating no spoilers, no hints. Some of them even go so as far as to turn off their chat or put it in emote only. And I have actually seen before a top runner forfeit because someone gave him a hint. So yeah, very honorable, very fair community.
Magic Terra says in chat, Mitz opens up King's Tomb, which would be a walk around. No, it doesn't, because you need the boots to get there, and the mirror as well. So,
yeah, King's Tomb is still going to be kind of locked. The Mitts at this point just gives them easier access to Dark World Village of Outcasts, Eastern Dark Death Mountain, and doing a quick scan of my brain of locations. It would, of course, open up Ice Palace and Misery Mire, where they have the flippers and flute, respectively.
So Dragonstrike bomb jumped that when he could have hookshot it. That's special Dragonstrike.
Yep, and there's still no fire for ice. That is very correct. We'll see if Trollderm has anything for us. I believe they did find, like, Dragonstrike found, like, money or bombs or something already?
Yeah. I think we have the 2 items out of here.
Okay,
but at this point, it's a crystal, so you do it.
Oh, yeah. It not only is it a crystal, it's a red crystal. So that could be very important because the Fat Fairy Cave could hold progression as well. Nothing is off the table at this point in time with this seed. So Applejack making quick work of Helmasaur. Oh, apparently they didn't get the second item because there is the Cane of Berna for Dragonstrike off of the Trollderm. Still not really giving any progression necessarily, but that does mean that they can check Spike Cave, which is just a quick jump down.
Yep, Spike Cave is in progression now with an invincibility item. I think I would rather go to the other side and check other items first, though, because you have the Spiral Cave and then you can do Dark Death Mountain.
Absolutely. I would jump down Spiral Cave, check Hookshot and Super Bunny, and then safe quit over back to the other side, climb up, warp, do Spike Cave, and then call it quits for Death Mountain until it's Turtle Rock time. Or until you get the book and you're at a dead end again.
And JTN fights blind and takes a death, unfortunately.
He's going to go at... Oh, nope. He's not going to go at it again, I don't believe. Also, can I just put out some huge love for our chat here, cheering JT on like that? JT on's definitely the underdog in this race, but I swear I think he has the most love right now.
Dragonstrike, Fart Squirrel blocking him from getting into the Dark World right now. Awesome. All right.
Caladrius also finishing up Trollderm and is probably about to make the same play as Dragonstrike. These 2 runners definitely seem to be on par in terms of logic and skill. So it's going to be a very interesting race between these 2, I feel. And that's not to discount Applejack. Applejack definitely has a chance to catch up at any point.
All right, and we have Super Bunny Cave here. 2 items. We'll see if there's any progression here. No! I'm so excited!
Still Hookshot Cave and Spike Cave, but you are correct. This is looking eerily more and more like a blind ped pull the further we go. I am getting a little bit excited here.
Turn that hype up to like 8. We're back to it.
Oh, what was Turtle Rock there?
I did not catch it. Did any of our trackers catch what the Turtle Rock requirement was?
I'm about to watch on the mainstream, so if you want to keep an eye on what's going on. It looks like it was a Quake. It was Quake.
Quack. Okay, a heart. Okay, here we go.
Another heart.
Another heart. 10 arrows.
And bombs.
Bombs. Yes. Let's turn that hype meter to 9, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't quite know what to think right now. I'm racking my mind for other locations because I'm like, oh, it can't be Ped. It can't be Ped yet. There's got to be something we're missing, something we're overlooking. But I'm racking my mind for locations that it could be.
I think we still have.
Dragon ignored Spike Cave.
Yep, Dragon ignored Spike Cave, so if something is here, this will put Caladrius firmly in the lead.
Such a low amount of hearts and no half magic. This is going to be a very close call, but no, I think he's got it.
5 arrows! Okay, so
Arrow upgrade.
So we also have Jeremiah, which you can get, and the Peg Caves and Dark Kakariko.
Oh, flippers from Sahashala, and a bit of an arrow. There's an assassination attempt on Dragonstrike stream. I do apologize for that grotesque display of violence there. But no, so we found some more progression. So this opens up... Actually, this doesn't open up anything, because they're lacking the mirror for Swamp Palace, and they're lacking fire for Ice Palace.
Nothing, not a darn thing. This is so great.
Oh, wow.
And we've already seen Waterfall and Hobo, because I think both Caladrius and Dragonstrike sequence broke those.
Yep, but Dragonstrike, I think Dragonstrike is making the blind ped pull play here. He's going in to finish off Armos Knights, and then if I were a betting man, I'd say he's off to Thieves Town next.
Oh my goodness. And Caladrius, I mean, that feel doubly bad for him, because we do know the flippers are required, and he's going to have to go back into pod to get those, to get the green pendant, to get that. So, oh my goodness, I'm hyped.
Now, the smart thing for him to do once he finishes up here, when he heads over to Village of Outcasts, do Jeremiah and the Peg Cave first, because there's still that chance. As much as we love to see ped pulls, you don't want to be wasting time, especially when we're an hour in and there's only been one crystal dungeon completed.
Absolutely. Question in chat, what has been the 5-6 crystals? The 5-6 crystals are Tower of Hera and I believe Swamp Palace. But my goodness. Okay, so Dragonstrike is on his way through Eastern, going to make this play. Caladrius, getting bodied off the railing there.
And with Silvers, Armos are going to go down in relatively short order here.
They're going to melt.
Not to get into, I guess, a lot of the technical aspects of the game that, in essence, really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. But silver arrows do 100 points of damage, which is typically far more than most things tend to have. And I can't remember exactly how much damage a butter sword does, but it is significantly less in the grand scheme of things. I want to say it's like 24.
Yeah, I don't know the exact numbers behind it either way, but it's silvers make things melt.
Yeah, they do a ridiculous level of damage.
All right, so we see Caladrius on his... Where is Caladrius going?
Silvers won't insta-kill a Pokey because Pokeys are very unique enemies in the fact that they have multiple health bars for each part of them that gets knocked off. The only reason why the Fire Rod will kill them in one hit is because the fire stays and deals damage on a fairly constant basis. So as each part of it gets killed, the fire continues to kill the next part.
Okay, so Dragonstrike is going over here. I don't think he actually checked Zora, so he's going over here. Caladrius is checking Jeremiah and the Peg Cave right now, so this will be key for Caladrius here.
Question is Caladrius about to put 2 and 2 together? If these come up a dud, is he going to go and beat Pod and EP and go for the ped pool next if these don't come up?
Now, it could be other items that kind of lead to a chain. I mean, we have the mirror, which could absolutely open up Swamp Palace, and plus get the boots at this point in time. So lots of options to happen, but man, it's looking good. This is at a 9 right now for height cave check, or for pedestal check. Fire Rod!
Oh, Fire Rod is in the Peg Cave, so there is our access to Ice Palace and Skull Woods. So,
oh my goodness!
pet
Dial
on
that
hold.
back.
Pet on hold. Let's see what Skull Woods and Ice Palace have for us.
Applejack is also going ahead and doing the Spike Cave check. So raise your hand in chat. How many of you guys wish you were running this seed right now?
I actually kind of wish I was. This does, as crazy and as trolly as this is, this looks fun to me so much.
You, sir, are a sadist. I'm in the no thank you camp right at the moment.
Oh, Dragonstrike going in the fight. Blind. I think he's about to do a blind ped pull after this without without worrying so much about Jeremiah in the Peg Cave. Which, of course, the blacksmith was just a heart container, as I just noticed.
Yep, so, I mean, the Fire Rod certainly could lead us to something. So Caladrius looking real solid right at the moment. Dragonstrike might be doing the ped pull, blind ped pull, and Dragonstrike realizing, oops, I never brought him back.
Oh, no. This is what we were talking about earlier, having to make that dip back downtown to go pick up blind.
So Dragonstrike does not know where the Fire Rod is, has not checked that location. Whew, this is gearing up to be one of those seeds that if you get frustrated easily, I think a lot of people would have already fought forfeit.
Gearing up to, it has been.
All right, so Dragonstrike going back, taking blind on a date downtown. By the way, that is really clever, downtown. Because it's under the town.
It's funny because he's joke. Caladrius making use of that butter sword to just take a moment and get rid of the Gibdos because they can be a bit of a pain, especially if you're trying to conserve as much magic as you can to help out with Mothula. Although, to be fair, with a butter sword and decent placement, Mothula is literally a non-issue.
It depends on placement with Mothula, really. I mean, it can be a little bit trolly, and I wish Caladrius realized that he doesn't need that key. Oh, but he was getting the heart. Okay.
Also, he had a full magic there, so between a full magic meter with Fire Rod and the butter sword, even with 3.5 hearts remaining, I also do believe he still has a fairy in tow, so he's got this in the bag, I think.
Oh, taking some damage.
Oh!
Fairy, here's your job. Everyone get ready for the ped pull. Dragonstrike has his third pendant.
Looks like he's going down for Jeremiah first. When he sees that Fire Rod, odds are what we're going to see is him go up, complete Skull Woods, and then blind pull.
That would be smart. We might even see some frustration sword slashes here.
If Ped comes up nothing, absolutely. Because that just means he wasted time to go into EP and Thieves Town to get pendants that he did not need to get. And that's definitely going to sting, especially when, I mean, you got to think of it in terms of these runners who have no idea how everyone else is progressing right now. All you know is what you have done. And if you think about it in terms, you've played Randomizer, obviously. You're an hour and 10 minutes in. You have only cleared one crystal dungeon And you, at this point in time with Dragonstrike, he now has the means to clear only 2 other crystal dungeons. How behind do you feel?
You know, with as truly as this seed has been, I don't know if I feel... I mean, I feel behind. I always feel in a state behind because my name is not Christos Owen or Andy, so I always feel behind. But with as truly as this seed has been, if I made some of those early gambles like I did to get into Palace of Darkness to get that early glove, I might not feel as behind as some of these other folks.
And that is fair. But for Dragon's sake, I'm hoping Pet is something. Otherwise, that is a considerable time loss. Although Caladrius, though I thought he had a lead with going in and clearing out Skull Woods, I figured he'd be going to Ice Palace next, but it seems to me that he's going ahead and... oh, did he not get flippers? He didn't.
No, he didn't get flippers, so he can't even do Ice Palace. So
where were flippers again?
Flippers were from Sahasrara, from the Green Pendant.
That's right. So actually, Pod is a play to make here. Never mind. Scratch what I said.
We have a request from Sarah Zelda in chat to go over what exactly can be on the pedestal. And we have quite a few items that can be on pedestal right now.
Any of the medallions, for one, especially the Quake medallion, which we already know is the key to Turtle Rock. We don't know what Mire is yet. Mire could be any of the 3, because as far as the medallions are concerned, you can have the same medallion be the key to both. So any of the medallions are a given. Mirror is a given. Book and Flute are also a given for Ped. Ped could also hold Mushroom, Powder, or Boots, or Shovel, which could be a key to a fetch quest for a progression item. So there's still a lot that could be on there. Whether it amounts to anything or not, we don't know.
We see Dragonstrike making the play. Quick, make a prediction before we see it.
I am betting an arrow upgrade.
I'm thinking Mirror. Okay, here we go. Here we go. What is it?
Oh yeah, it can't be Boots. I do apologize. Oh, it's a cape! Has anyone... Oh my god, has anyone checked Bumper Cave? What it has?
No one. I don't think anyone has checked that Bumper Cave. No. And he's upset.
Oh, if Bumper Cave has something, then this is a Ped required seed. Absolutely. Otherwise, this just gives Dragon a huge advantage in clearing out Ganon later on in a very quick fashion, because using Cape Stratch with Ganon, you can ignore a lot of the effects and just lay into him and get that damage out quickly.
And we're saying some people have already checked it and it's nothing, so... oh, man.
So merely a convenience item for the Ganon fight, which in truth you have butter stored anyway, so it's not even that much of a convenience.
So, yeah, there's some anti-pedestal folks in chat. Man.
I have no idea who could be anti-pedestal. None whatsoever. Caladrius pushing onwards to grab the rest of the items in Pod, go in and teach Hilmassar what for, and then hopefully he'll be off to Ice Palace afterwards when he gets his flippers.
Sarah Zelda also asking, can we have Vanilla Ice Rod today? Absolutely not. We cannot.
Yeah, the Ice Rod Cave was in fact the hammer, so sadly no. We could, however, very well have an Ice Palace Ice Rod. That's always fun for me. Or, even better, Laser Bridge or Mimic Cave Ice Rod.
All right, so Dragonstrike going in here for his Mothula fight. Caladrius still having to make the play, so he's going to be able to check Sahasrara. What do you think Caladrius does once he gets the flippers?
Ideally, Ice Palace is the next logical progression here that I see. I feel that Dragonstrike will be heading straight to Ice Palace as soon as he's finished up with Skull Woods. Within Ice Palace, the things we could be seeing in Ice Palace to further progression, we could get Quake Medallion for a dip into Turtle Rock. We could be getting a flute or a book to give us access to EP. Hopefully not boots locked. We could get a mirror, which would give us the boots, as well as give us access to Swamp Palace. So there's a few things that could be in Ice Palace that would give us logical progression.
At this point, it's got to be in Ice Palace. That's the only place that we have access to at this point in time, based on the items that we know where they are. And we've checked pretty well everything else that we can in the world. We're looking at 100% seed close for this one. Hey, everyone's favorite mascot has returned for JTN. So Caladrius going ahead and finally doing the Helmasaur fight. Does have silvers, not that it's that much faster between butter and silvers.
In fact, silvers could be slower depending on your aim, which we're seeing right here. Helmasaur is trolling a little bit.
Just slash him, Caladrius. Just slash him.
And he takes care of it. Grab that green pendant and head on down to Sahasrara.
Old Mr. Sunshine, you clip as many things as you want. We love clips.
Absolutely. And Applejack looks like he's making that check for the Soggy Bomb Boys.
Oh, and Catfish had so much potential. I mean, there were so many different things that everything could have been. Man, I'm disappointed with that pedestal now. I was so excited.
Yes, Apple's timer does not know what an hour is. It only knows what minutes are.
Hey, don't hate. I mean, it can happen. Now, once we get to 99 minutes, it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
This is true. So looks like Dragon's going to go ahead and check the lunchbox, see what's hiding around in there, and then if I were a betting man, he's just going to run right across, jump in the water, and head off to the Ice Palace.
That'd be a solid play. We'll see what we have here in the lunchbox.
Ooh, Ether. I am secretly hoping Meyer is Ether just so we can see Bird get hit with a hammer.
And when it doesn't happen, you're immediately DQ'd. Not really, but...
So it looks like Caladrius got the flippers and decided to go ahead and finish out EP just in case of that pedestal, which we now know is defunct, but... And Dragon not immediately heading to Ice Palace. I think it looks like he's going to go check Spike Cave first, which is a rather strange play to make, going all this way just for that.
I think he's doing everything he can to avoid Ice Palace. Either that or doesn't realize that he can go there. So Applejack doing the hobo now in sequence. It's interesting because I think half of our runners sequence broke it. The other half opted to wait until everything was in sequence. But it doesn't matter when you did it. It was useless no matter what.
I can't remember the last time I did hobo in sequence.
I'll be honest, I'm one of those people that likes to keep things in sequence. Otherwise, I lose track of things.
My rule of thumb is I will sequence break all day long, but I'll never sequence break to a second degree. Meaning, say I were to sequence break Hobo, and Hobo gives me Lantern, right? At that point, I would actually be a bit more hesitant to do, say, Dark Room Death Mountain for the old man, because if, say, old man gives Bow, well, that's 2 degrees removed from logic, and that will start throwing me off at that point. So I never go to a second degree. I never sequence break with a sequence broken item.
That's fair. Applejack is actually the first one in Ice Palace.
Remember what I said earlier. Remember what I said about Applejack being able to make up and take the lead in this, and I believe that's what Applejack is doing at this point in time. They have technically pulled ahead of Caladrius and Dragonstrike just due to them not gambling on PED, which Dragonstrike and Caladrius have done.
Yeah, and it looks like Caladrius is going ahead and doing the full preparing to blind pedestal pull. He hasn't... Okay, he did get Sahasrara, so he just hasn't gone down to do Ice Palace. So this is really interesting on Caladrius' part that he's opting for a blind pedestal pull at this point. And we are at 1 hour and 21 minutes into this race. Normally at this point in time, I would start keeping a side eye on the SRL channel to see if we'd have any dot dones by now. With this seed though, I don't think so.
And definitely not. There are no finishes as of yet. But also, from what I'm seeing here, there's no forfeits either. People are staying strong with this one. And with a race of over 70 players, that's impressive. Usually you see, some entrants that are a bit newer, and they can become intimidated by very trolly seeds, especially if it's like their first race or one of their first few randomizer runs in general. But no, we're not seeing any forfeits so far this run, so that's great.
And Caladrius is about to be disappointed with the cape. We'll see how many frustration slashes he has.
Here is your consolation blanket, Caladrius. I believe there are 73 or 74 runners in this race, Master.
Yeah, I mean, this is a... Open modes generally have more participants than some of the more quirky seeds and seeds that we have run. So it's not unusual to see 70 some odd people in an open mode, but it's still a very large group of runners right now. We even saw some of the big names decide to join us. Andy Cransoon, some of the other top 16 finishers from our open mode tournament. So lots of very solid runners in this run. Not having seen a dot done yet tells me that everyone's being trolled a little bit. Applejack making his way through Ice Palace. Slowly, still haven't found that progression item though.
Yeah, 147 does seem to be a bit optimistic. If I'd have to say, like, knowing that we do have top tier runners running this that can work around the logic in like a master gymnastics sort of way, I would say we'll probably see some of our runners like Andy and company finish around 150 to 2 hours with this. Would be my guess.
And we do have JTN has waved the white flag of surrender. He has not forfeit. Oh, poor JTN. Let's, you know what, fan favorite. Let's see if he'd still want to come in and talk to us for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll at least give him a moment to say his piece on the match, because this is definitely a trolly one, and he had some bad moves in the beginning that made it a bit difficult.
Uh-oh, I heard we have a flute from Applejack. So there was our progression item right there. And joining us now, JTN.
What was that? Something about a progression item? There were like 3 times in this seed I got just legitimately stuck. Like, there's only one other thing I can do. Twice it worked. The 3rd time here, yeah, I'm lost. Help.
So your next progression item was the fire rod, which was in the hammerpeg cave.
No, he.
But I don't have mitts.
Oh yeah, so yeah, the mitts were in. Oh my goodness, where were mitts? I just blanked out.
Mitts were in Tower of Hera.
Tower of Hera.
But I just got the hook shot, which would have let me across the mountain. Derp.
Yep.
Yep. It's all right, you know.
This is an unforgiving seed, absolutely, man. But you were definitely a fan favorite of the day, JTN. People were rooting for you big time. They loved your cursor. They really loved the cursor keeping you company on stream there.
Yeah, I'm new to using this tracker also, which I'm only using an item tracker, so I think having a tracker with a map would have really helped me out also for things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it feels bad. You know, we've all been there, though, so we've all had those scenes where you just get tilted a little bit. Man, I mean, that stinks. We had everyone rooting for you, though, for sure.
Yeah,
man, this is just
totally 43 minutes for pod. At that point, I knew, 3 hours would have been very generous. Forgot I had a red potion fighting blind, if you're wondering what was happening there, and flippers from a friggin' salad shoot. I don't even know what to say about that one.
But yeah, I mean, if you look at their main stream now, you can see that. I mean, the others, while they were technically ahead, but not by much. I mean, they just got 2 dungeon clears on you. This has been a nightmare seed. But man, just wanted to say thank you for jumping in and at least letting you vent your frustrations on the seed, and we definitely wish you the best of luck next time, man.
Thank you much. That was only my 3rd ever race, so I'm glad. I thank you for the feature. And so, did anybody find boots yet to
Nope.
in mirror to get?
I mean, no mirror yet to access them, but boots run Spectacle Rock.
All right, well, I guess I'll watch the others. Thank you very much.
Not a problem, man. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. JTN, everyone, fan favorite. If you were at least entertained by his antics, go ahead, give him a follow here.
One last question. Has Pedestal been checked? Is my Master Shovel Dream still alive?
It is dead, but it does have a cape. Although there's nothing on Bumper Cave, so useless.
Next time, then. Next time.
All right, so back to the action. Of course, we got the flute from Ice Palace, and we have Dragonstrike eking. No, technically Applejack is still technically in the lead, but only by a room. So it's all going to come down to who has the cleaner cold stare finish here as to who maintains that lead. And of course, Caladrius now in Ice Palace as well, so it'll be catching up rather soonish, I feel.
Yep. Applejack had to farm up some magic because he was complete. He needed full magic to be able to get Cold Stare, but Buttersword makes it pretty easy.
Applejack makes that Cold Stare fight
and there's
easy
the mirror!
And a mirror for his troubles. Mike, that is definitely one of the cleanest Cold Stare fights I have seen in a long, long time.
So Ice Palace with both progression with the flute and the mirror. Oh, what do you do first?
Boots. Hands down, boots. I believe all these runners at this point have helped the old man, so they have just a quick, save quit spot. Grab those boots already to help you out with, moving around, and then head into Swamp Palace. Oh, and now that they have the mirror, the game is going to troll them a little bit on the save quits. If you save quit in the Dark World, guess where you're heading up at?
Yep.
The pyramid.
Yep. Now that you have the possibility, you're going to end up there. So everyone has to save quit out in the light world and mirror out. And my goodness, I mean, this is all sorts of trolly right now. But that, between the mirror and the flute, that opened this seed right up, because that gives us access to Swamp Palace. It gives us access to Misery Mire area. We still don't have the Ice Rod to clear out Turtle Rock, but you better believe if we don't have the Ice Rod by then.
I completely forgot you got to activate the flute, so Applejack is actually making the bad call while Dragonstrike is making the good one. Activate the flute and then just fly up the mountain.
Yep. So Dragonstrike, everyone, stand for our swagged up national anthem.
Yeah, so actually, also, I didn't even think about this. Checking Mire before dipping in the Swamp Palace may be a smart idea as well. Because if Mire is by chance the Ether Medallion, which Dragonstrike has, you've already got the Cane of Samaria, might as well go ahead and complete that while you're there.
Yeah, it's the cane, you have the lamp, and you have arrow, the bow with silvers. Vitreous would be no problem. Just blaze through there as quick as you can.
And it's Bombos for Mire, so no Mire entry just yet unless Bombos is in one of these nearby chests. But half magic, that's going to be useful.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Now, worth noting, Dragonstrike still hasn't gotten the boots yet, so it'll be interesting to see when he decides to go get those. Every second that Dragonstrike doesn't go get those boots is a little bit more time that Applejacks can keep pace with them, or maybe pass them.
Oh, I'm just going to ignore that net there. Don't need it.
DQ.
I don't know. If I saw the net and I didn't have the powder yet, for safety's sake, I would take it just because I'm still not that grand at a lot of my execution. So that's just me.
So Caladrius is still in Ice Palace, making his way slowly through there. Dragonstrike doing Desert. Now, again, this is interesting. Desert is a very, very linear seed, and there's the key there. So it's boots locked. Advantage Applejack.
Oh, dear. Yeah, JTN is just merely still on the stream, either because they didn't choose a replacement, but no, he is no longer in the race. At this point, it appears he's just playing for our amusement. So, hence the little white flag waving in his timer.
So Dragonstrike now going up, going to get his boots. It'll be interesting to see if he just goes back down to Desert. This is a huge time waster here for Dragonstrike that he didn't route that in while he was still out and about in the world. Applejack taking the lead.
Yep, so I called it earlier that Applejack could still take the lead, and here he has done it. So we'll see what Desert Palace holds for us. If it's anything additional to do with progression or just merely grabbing the crystal. Either way, I would definitely see, let me see, a Swamp Palace probably next, unless he does find a Bombos here.
It'd be interesting to find the Bombos. He's already found one of the two items, which is, of course, the shovel. Oh my goodness. Fetch quests are us, ladies and gents.
Absolutely. Shovel leads to mushroom, which leads to vanilla powder, which leads to book, which leads to a vanilla bombos.
You're a mean-spirited human being. Zombie bomb. You don't think this seed hasn't trolled these runners enough?
Nope.
So we have Applejack going ahead and clearing out desert while he's here. You know, a solid play. I don't mind this play.
Oh, finishing up desert is definitely a good idea. You're talking about the Swamp Palace. Yeah, Swamp Palace could definitely hold value. Swamp Palace, I believe, out of all the dungeons, is it tied with Turtle Rock for most items?
I think Turtle Rock has one more, especially when you factor in the Mimic Cave, which isn't technically part of Turtle Rock.
I thought they both had 6. I could be mistaken. I still rely way too much on my item trackers.
Sarah Zelda asks, if every runner forfeits, this is a re-race, it would be something if 70 some odd runners all forfeit something.
Okay, that's why I got confused. Turtle Rock has 5, but I always count Mimic Cave as Turtle Rock for some reason when it's technically Overworld.
All right, so Applejack finishing up desert here. Meanwhile, Dragonstrike going through Swamp Palace.
Question at this point is, where's our Ice Rod and where's our medallions? Because that's all we need for Go Mode.
Absolutely. And both the other medallions are needed. We found the Ether one, but we need Quake to get into Turtle Rock and Bombos to get into Misery Mire. So we need both.
Is effectively useless. Ether is useless unless you really just want to freeze every enemy in the room for some reason.
Well, and I have seen some people, if they are not confident in their routing up the gauntlet in Ganon's Tower, will pull out Ether because it's the fastest magic cast that you can do that clears the room.
That's fair. Looks like we're finally getting our health in the seed as well, by the looks of it.
Yep, Applejack sitting at 12 hearts, Dragonstrike at 13. Applejack's clearing some of these other overworld routes that Dragonstrike did earlier while avoiding going to Ice Palace. So even though Applejack was the first to go into Ice Palace, doing some of these other overworld routes, allowing Dragonstrike to maintain a little bit more of a lead.
Quite possibly here, although he realized he has the mirror just fly to him. So in truth, what he could do here is drop off the lunchbox, go up, warp to Dark World, and then go straight into Swamp Palace, which will not really put him that far behind, if at all, since Dragon has not cleared Desert. And I was about to say, we've been neglecting our good friend Caladrius here for a little bit. So he has just gotten his swag duck feathers, so he can start floating around. So odds are we'll be seeing him make his play on the mire area here very, very shortly.
It is worth noting that, with a few route variations early in the game, and then, the choice that they've had to make here, desert or swamp, to go there, it's been a relatively linear seed. It's been trolly as heck, but it's been linear.
Oh, yeah. There's not been any, to my knowledge, required double dips so far.
Okay, required double dips.
Oh, wait, no, there was one. Pods required.
Yep.
Yep. There was one, but that wasn't that bad because literally it's the first chest you walk in.
Applejack's going through some of these other overworld locations. For example, he's going to check the Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb right now. Already checked Bonk Rocks. solid to get these other overworld locations out of the way, I suppose, when you're just looking around.
And the thing is, if he gets lucky and he does find a progression item in here, that will put him at an absolute advantage. Now, if he doesn't, that puts him at a disadvantage, obviously.
Of course, Caladrius is also checking these locations right now as well. So, Caladrius, if something is here, he's right back in it. And I was wondering what would happen with Applejack's timer once he passed 99 minutes, and it reset.
Interesting. So it looks like Applejack had to start the race over. He's only at 44 seconds so far. So
Dragonstrike getting trolled by that wonderful staircase in Swamp Palace. I hate that staircase. We need to fix it.
but where's the fun in that? Uh-oh.
Bombos! That's important for Dragonstrike.
There's our Mire excess. So now Dragon will be able to link in Desert with Mire and knock that out in fairly quick order. So Applejack's lead is definitely going to come into question here very shortly.
And it's going to be tight between these two. Also worth noting, an hour 41 into this race. And for people in the community who know the top tier runners, you know, Andy, Cransoon, those other folks, we still do not have a dot yet. No one has finished this seed.
We are approaching that. I know someone earlier in chat estimated around 147. We are approaching that 147 here within the next few minutes, and we'll see just how right they were.
Applejack heading into Swamp Palace. Caladrius doing Desert at the moment. Quake! Both medallions were in Swamp Palace. Bombos and Quake. Wow.
So we've got our medallions. We just need Ice Rod, and we are in go mode. Ice Rod could very easily be in Mire, or, as my favorite, it could be waiting in Turtle Rock.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So we have a couple options at this point in time. I mean, I venture to guess he's going to go ahead and do Desert and Swamp, or Desert and Misery Mire while he's down here. And that will only leave for wonderful Mr. Dragonstrike Turtle Rock after that. Whew. Also worth noting, we haven't checked the dig spot yet, have we? Even though everyone found that in Desert, we're still looking for that elusive Ice Rod.
Just given the way Applejack is progressing here in Swamp, I'm probably going to have to say that Dragon is back in the lead technically just because of how short of a time it takes to clear out Desert. But it is still very, very close. And we also still cannot, count out Caladrius because any wrong step, including, deaths and falls between Ganon's tower and Ganon himself, could put Caladrius right back up there.
Oh, absolutely. They are all just neck and neck. It's anyone's race at this point in time. Some questions in chat. When is the next tournament? Well, I'm very glad you asked. There is actually a Key Sanity tournament that starts next week. It's one of the minor tournaments that the randomizer community puts together. It will be kind of a 5 races in a sort of a Swiss format, free-for-all, for lack of a better term. And from there, the top 4 will be in a tournament. Now, it's single elimination, so with the number of people that we have, it's pretty much one loss and you're out, which is unfortunate for all of us who expect to have at least one loss, myself included. But that's going to be starting next week, and then it'll be a month's worth of one-off races. I'm sure we're going to try to restream as many as we can, and then from there will be the final 4, so to speak. I say it's a minor one, and there's something like 180 people signed up for this particular race.
Only 180. It's fine. But while we still have a little bit of a lull waiting on our next item to be found, once again, I just want to say thank you so much to our trackers that have been keeping up with this absolute madness. And our trackers for the day are of course, MathGirl718, as well as Number Play. They are working their tails off to keep us all very well informed. Thank you both dearly. Give them some love. Give them a follow. Give them a bop on the head. They work hard for us.
All right, so at this point, Dragonstrike is going through. I think, let's see, he does have the big key to go ahead and open the big. No, he doesn't have the big key yet. Ooh.
Nope. I don't believe he has checked that chest over there past this graded flooring where he's heading right now, actually. So, just a small key. However, with the blocks lowered, he can also check that chest that's right after the big chest room. But if that fails, then big keys on Vit.
And I don't think you can have big key on Vit in.
Oh, that's right, because you do need a big key to open up Vit's door. Never mind, I am a foolish person. So now we're going to get a big chest check, and then it's off to Vitty to show him our shiny arrows.
Be right back, guys. Got to go put my eyeball costume on and get ready to fight these runners. And we have the Ice Rod. Dragonstrike is officially in go mode. Well, that seed went from horrible to go mode very quickly. We have some, for people who are not a part of the SRL channel, we have some of the other racers, instead of, racing because no one has finished this seed yet, grumbling about how horrible this seed is. Guys, what are you doing? Just race. Just race. So Applejack finishes off Swamp Palace, sees that he has all medallions, so medallions are good.
But Dragonstrike's about to finish off Vitty with 2 clean shots straight to the iris.
And we do have our first winner. Prior 57 just finished it with a first place time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 5 seconds.
Yeah, so whomever said it was 147 is the estimate, I need you to get me some lottery numbers.
Please and thank you. Prior, not saying anything but lol at the end of it. Yeah, this has been a horrible seed. JTN taking a death, who has already forfeit, but chat's still rooting him on. Caladrius also finishing up Swamp Palace. Dragonstrike has not finished Desert, so we'll have to finish Desert. I misread something.
No, yeah, he'll take care of Desert in pretty quick order. So it does appear that he's pulled out a little bit ahead of Apple because Applejack is going to probably take a little bit to get through Mire, and then it's just off to Turtle Rock, which will be go moded. And they've got silvers, they've got blue mail, they've got a good sword. There's no need to hang around. It is get up, get out, get moving.
Absolutely. And Jet082 finishes in second place with a time of 151.18. Trying to get the top three. Christos Owen just finished in third place with 152.03. 2 seconds behind him, Evanitis at 152.05.
So, as always, we have a bunch of our top-tier runners just flying through this seed. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we've been watching, Dragon and Applejack and Caladrius make some pretty good calls. Some bad calls, but all in all, their logic has been fairly sound, and they've been moving through this at a really good pace. But as you can see, some of these runners are just ridiculous in terms of how well they can get through these seeds.
Dragonstrike finishing off Desert Palace, while Applejack will be finishing off Misery Mire, so they'll both be heading up top to Turtle Rock in go mode before too long.
The first finisher's name, their exact name on here is Prior57. That's Prier 57. That was our first place finisher. Oh, first place finisher time was, I thought it said name. It was 150.05.
So, it was just pointed out to me, Caladrius didn't get Bombos.
Oh, no!
That's bad, because he's going up to Turtle Rock right now. I mean, he'll be able to go into Turtle Rock, but he's... Ice Rod is in Misery Mire, so he's going to do a full clear of Turtle Rock, not find Ice Rod, and will have to back out if he keeps on this path. This is not looking good for Caladrius.
Bombos was in the big key chest, wasn't it, in Swamp?
Yes, it was.
That's good eating.
This is an unfortunate turn of event for Caladrius, who had run a very solid race up to this point in time, was neck and neck with Demonstrike and Applejack for the longest time. And Applejack taking a death, unfortunately. Oh, hurt so good. And we have Gamer Cow finishing in fifth place with 154.33. I think we're going to see a lot of these finish times, especially in the top 10, start to space out a little bit, just because of the routing decisions that have gone on. So Dragonstrike is entering Turtle Rock this will be our final dungeon, and Dragonstrike will be able to go mode. Caladrius, as he's going through here, is going to full clear it. So I imagine we'll see Dragonstrike finish well before Caladrius, because as soon as he gets his keys, Dragonstrike's just going to blaze through. Applejack, meanwhile, heading back down to Vitreous. Took a death earlier just in kind of an odd room, so getting it set up. Epic Ponage asks, how many keys does Dragonstrike need to get all the way through? Let's see. If we count the keys that are dropped from enemies, I believe it's 3? Yes, 3. Thank you, Math Girl, for helping me out. And trying to work around the chain chomps, which are, even with blue mail, just absolutely devastating.
And for those that do not know, these delightful cameos from the Mario game, their hits do the exact same damage as Ganon body shots. So I believe in green mail, that is 6 hearts of damage or 8 hearts of damage.
I think, and I need to be corrected, but I believe Ganon does 8 hearts of damage in green mail, but the chain chomps only do 6 in green mail.
Okay, so it's not the same as Ganon body shot. Okay.
Yeah, so
it's still very painful regardless.
Oh, Das Lost It is even correcting me. Changed to 4 in green, 3 in blue, 2 in red.
I swore they did more than that. I swore it was a bit more painful to get hit by a chain chomp than that, but I could be remembering wrong.
So Caladrius going over and he picks up the powder in a treasure chest that I don't think we're going to see Dragonstrike even get. And at this point, Dragonstrike has officially passed Caladrius in terms of the routing right now through Turtle Rock. And a few more duns. We have Hacksaw with a time of 1:58.14. Ink Nun at 7th place with 1:58.25. El Tigre 1:58.33. Zodastone in 9th place at 1:58.54. And Mighty Mike 27 in 10th place at 1:59.11. So we have our top 10 all at sub 2 hours, which I honestly didn't think we'd get.
Yeah, that's quite astonishing in my opinion.
And Zodastone's comment in SRL, more breadcrumbs than a bag of croutons. And it describes the seed pretty well.
Yeah.
Truth be told. So yeah, Kala going through here does not have Ice Rod because he doesn't have Ice Rod because he opted not to go back into Swamp to get the Bombos, which means he couldn't open Misery Mire, which means he couldn't get the Ice Rod, which was in Misery Mire, which means he's going to be a sad panda.
And AppleJackSix heading into Turtle Rock at long last. So pretty much a full dungeon behind Dragonstrike, but that time can still be made up.
I mean, right-left gambles in Ganon's Tower can certainly help make up the difference. Not all of it, but we're looking at least 2 or 3 Ganon falls lead for Dragonstrike at this point. And we see Dragonstrike with Buttersword taking on Trinex, which is not too terribly difficult of a fight when you have Buttersword. So, as Dragonstrike is finishing up his Trinex fight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls in chat, we have a wonderful game we like to play here in the randomizer community. 1 through 22, there are 22 possible locations for the big key in Ganon's Tower. 1 through 22, get your guesses in. Zombie Punk, my good friend, what's your guess?
Gonna have to go with Bob's Chest, which I believe is number 14.
In standard routing, yep, Bob's Chest would be 14. You know what? This seed has been trolling them enough, and the boots were in a super trolley location. I'm going to guess, out on a limb, the torch location.
You're going with standard routing. If they check right first but don't commit fully, that would be, what, 3?
Number 3, yep. I think this seed has trolled these gentlemen enough. So Caladrius, I think Caladrius is tilted. I don't think he realizes that he left the big chest in Swamp Palace alone. And we welcome JTN back into the chat room, given the full flag of surrender.
Looks like your guess is not correct, sadly.
No, not correct. That's the one thing I like guessing early, is that if I'm wrong, I know soon. Oh, and I think Caladrius realizes what he did.
Yep. That's going to be a painful realization pretty quickly.
That is just about the most worthless place for the mushroom to possibly be.
Nuh-uh, you can take the mushroom and you get it to the witch and she gives you the Ganon Tower big key, and this is not key sanity, so that doesn't work.
So coming up on chest number 8 in the Firebar room, and it's just the map. Oh no, Caladrius. I don't think he did realize what happened, because he's now checking the Fat Fairy Cave. So for those people who wanted to know what's in the Pyramid Fairy, we're getting our check.
Oh no! A lot of love.
That's a lot of fairy love right there. Yeah, he is. Caladrius is definitely tilted right now, not realizing what he missed. And it doesn't look like anything was in the rando room, so 9, 10, 11, and 12. Oh, no, that's 10, 11, 12, and 13. I'm sorry.
But Bob's chest is still alive. As is Bob, because they didn't collect the money off that lamp.
Meanwhile, Applejack is in his try next fight right now.
Although this could be a big thing here. If the key is on the left side and Apple makes a full commitment to go left, that could be major.
It could.
Everybody say goodbye to Bob.
Bye, Bob. Just for anyone who doesn't realize, Bob is the glitched out anti-fairy up there that is unique to the randomizer community. It happens only when you do not collect the item that is on the torch in that first level.
It's a very strange thing.
He's the unofficial rando mascot. Caladrius.
Go ahead, by the way. I was just going to say, key's on the left side, so if Applejack goes left first, he can make up a lot of time.
Oh my goodness, this could be interesting. Caladrius, check the Aga location. Still wondering where that Bombos is.
He has no idea that I honestly think he has no idea that he hasn't checked Swamp Palace Big Chest.
I think you're right there as well. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, that's why a lot of runners end up using map trackers as well. Because if you get to this location and you're just stumped, you have to start backtracking everything. And that is no fun for anyone.
Nope.
And Applejack does look like he's going right side. Caladrius checking dig game.
And there it is. I believe, and the book, so he can also read about, Ganon's big key and the lore significance it has.
So number 18. So if you guessed 18, congratulations.
You win a lifetime supply of Ganon body shots?
Ew. Yeah. Reminds me of spring break in college.
Oh, God. That's not what I meant.
All right, so Dragonstrike firmly in the lead at this point. Applejack will be climbing Ganon's tower. Caladrius still looking for that Bombos. All right, so at this point, Caladrius checking. Dragonstrike can see all the dot-dons and is going for safety strats at this point in time. Going to go ahead and pick up the fairies and the magic just to be able to get through.
And there's so many people in this race. We're obviously not going to go into too much detail over who all is finishing and what, but we are up to 28th place at this point in time.
All right, so Dragonstrike is using those strats I was talking about earlier, using his magic meters to just say, nope, I'm going to clear through these things as quick as possible.
I wouldn't say it's as quick as possible. Going the Bombo strats is a little bit slower than being optimal, but if you have headaches in the gauntlet like I do, this is a perfectly reasonable way to go about it, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. I just burn through them as quick as you can. Caladrius, okay, so he checked Fairy. or checked the Batcave and found red mail. So that's something.
There we go.
I guess.
And half magic was in, believe it was in the Meyer shed, correct?
Yeah, half magic was in Meyer's shed. So Applejack's now going down to the left side. Meanwhile, Dragonstrike is continuing to climb this gauntlet. Takes a fall. I think everyone's fallen there at some point in time. Almost got the one cycle. I tell you, the first time that you get that one cycle in that room that Dragonstrike was just in, you really feel like, hey, maybe I can speedrun this for real now.
And Applejack opting to do the slow room. We shall see what this gives us. We know it's nothing too important, obviously.
Yeah, tile room is just... Oh, it's a key. Caladrius still looking around. Thinks, maybe, did I misread it? No, Caladrius, you didn't misread it.
The poor guy is so confused.
Okay, so Caladrius, maybe, is he? Might he be doing it? I think he's doing it. He's heading in that direction.
I expect all of the bombs, possibly a quake, and just arrows of flying tilted when he opens that chest.
Oh, absolutely. And Dragonstrike did not check the validation chest. I am disappointed.
Well, at this point in time, he knows he's not coming in top 10, I'm sure. But he still doesn't know for certain whether he's first on the restream, and by goodness, he wants to be first on the restream, I bet.
Well, I'm sure that, I mean, if he's been tracking the duns that are in the SRL channel, he knows that it's still anybody's race at this point. No Caladrius, no AppleJackSix.
He may not know that they're being restreamed, though.
I think they do know. They're told ahead of time.
I've never been restreamed, so I don't know the process. I always thought that you just get told, hey, you're being restreamed, not, hey, these people are being restreamed, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, what typically ends up happening is in the SRL channel, the restreamer chooses the 4 and then it announces the 4. So they know. And Dragonstrike with the quick Aga kill. Okay, maybe not so quick, but we'll take it.
The brisk paced Aga kill.
Applejack is still climbing, going through the gauntlet. Meanwhile, Dragonstrike takes his aim at the big pig.
And Caladrius is about to be disappointed.
He realizes, oh wait, I didn't get the big chest. Where's the big key?
He should have the big key. I thought the big key was after the was in the back half.
I think it is. I just don't think he realizes he has it. All right, dragon running around. So he's clearly in the phase 3. We're just hoping that he doesn't take a dragon fall. Although Applejack might be hoping for a Ganon fall here.
Dragonfall?
Dragonfall. What can I say? I'm just... well, his name is Dragon, and he'd be falling, so it'd be a Dragonfall.
He misses his chance with the torch glitch, but I think that's fine. He can line himself up rather nicely here for a double, I think. Yep, there it goes.
Very well done. He's going to try to get these last hit here.
And there he goes. We'll be getting his official time here momentarily. No, it was not all dungeons Aga forced. You absolutely did not have to finish EP and Thieves Town.
You
And
did
look,
have to finish pod, though.
Yeah. Looks like Dragonstrike is going to finish with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 16 minutes and 25 seconds in 39th place out of 73 runners. That is still very, very good. Everybody give it up and get those GGs for Dragonstrike1988. We're going to see if we can get him in here.
Meanwhile, we see Applejack taking a fall to Trolldorm. That's unfortunate. There's Caladrius, finally getting Bombos. Let's see if we can't get Dragonstrike1988 in here. Oh, Dragonstrike1988 is in chat. Dragon, get in here. We want to talk to you. Dragon, come in here.
Come speak with us, Dragon.
Meanwhile, Applejack is on his Aga play. Nice layup for a triple there. Well done, Applejack. Yeah, for some odd reason, it's not letting us actually chat in the SRL channel, so we can't message them and say, hey, come here, we want to talk to you.
Very strange. Now, Applejack is going to give Ganon their what for here in just a moment.
Meanwhile, Caladrius finally has Bombos. We'll be able to find the Ice Rod here, so we'll be in full go mode. And yeah, hopefully he's on his way.
And it begins for Applejack. Let's see how quickly he's able to knock him down. While Caladrius ekes his way through mire.
Applejack in phase 3 right now. The camouflage cape sleeps again forever. I don't know if I've ever seen the cape on the pedestal, so camouflage cape.
And it does appear that Dragonstrike is going to pass on the interview. He says he needs a drink after this, so I think that pretty well sums up his feelings for the seed.
Yeah, I don't really blame him for that one at all. I'm honestly surprised the seed has not been deleted from his hard drive yet.
And Applejack taking down the big pig man himself. And let's see what he's going to finish with. See once he gets through those doors. Looks like he's going to finish with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 21 minutes, and 38 seconds in 44th place. Everybody give it up for AppleJackSix. GG. We will get Applejack in here momentarily, hopefully for an interview as well. Unless this seed has just thoroughly demoralized everyone from speaking.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't blame anyone after this seed.
Everyone all the runners in this race, restreamed or otherwise, just take a vow of silence for the rest of the day.
This seed is bad and I feel bad. I'm going to take a nice half-hour bath to wash myself of this thing.
Yes, we have JTN joining us back in for the end here. We'll be getting his input again after watching what all went down since he had to pop out. But see if Applejack is going to be coming in here in just a moment.
And Caladrius does have his ice route, so Caladrius is in go mode. Haha, sir. There you are.
AppleJackSix, GG, and congratulations. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. I was scared that whole time that I was going to have to go to the pedestal. Like, at every moment, I was like, man, I'm going to have to go back to that pedestal. And then at the last second, I kept getting saved by some item.
Yeah, you were trailing behind there, but Caladrius and Dragonstrike fell for the whole ped possibility and went and cleared the pendant dungeons, which actually gave you a bit of a lead. However, Dragonstrike was just a little bit quicker in getting Swamp Palace and Mire cleared, and so he pulled ahead of you by just a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm still pretty new at this, so I'm not super disappointed. I thought that seed was really funny. I knew for sure. Like, I suspected that you'd have to do Agahnim when I got the Master Sword super early, and then I knew it like for sure when I got the lamp.
Oh yeah.
That gold sword was the hint of, okay, Aga, it has to be.
Yeah, I was like, well, but maybe not. So I still checked a bunch of other stuff first.
Well, and you're not the only one who did. Like, I mean, clearly this seed trolled a heck of a lot of people. I mean, we saw even the top runners were at like 150 or so in this seed. So I wouldn't feel bad about. I thought you ran a solid race. It just trolled the heck out of just about everyone with Aga, and then Flippers being on Sahasrara in order to unlock
green pendant. Yep.
I was debating on whether or not to actually beat Helmarok. And then when I got the Flippers, I was just really happy I did.
I tell you what, though, for being fairly new, finishing just 30 minutes behind some of the top tier runners, like Christos Owens and others, like, you did a great job, man.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Definite kudos for finishing that thing. Once I got flippers and my brain was just so tilted, I didn't realize, oh, headshot, I can do East Death Mountain. Yeah, I was just done.
Yeah,
Not done, but done.
When I finally got the Titans mitts or the golden version, I was just confused for a second. I was like, I couldn't remember what was open to me now because I was so like confused.
So one thing I do like to ask all the runners every time I get to do commentary is, for you, what was your favorite part of this entire seed?
Oh, this seed? Ooh.
What event happened? What item pickup did you get that just made you go, all right, this is going to be good?
Not applicable?
I guess there was a couple. When I got the golden sword super early, I was just like, wow, okay. And then when I got the very first glove upgrade, when I went to the Palace of Darkness, I was like, oh man, okay.
But yeah, that I think was the earliest gold sword I've ever seen. I think I've commentator tracked probably 10 seeds. That was only my third that I've raced, and I think that was the earliest gold sword ever.
Well, and keep in mind, at first, when the seed first started up, everyone in chat was like, man, where is this when my seeds are running? And then halfway through it, they're like, oh, never mind, I don't want to run this race. What's going on here?
Oh, so it's chat's fault. They all jinxed us right at the get-go.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I knew chat was going to be loving this because we had to do Agahnim. I was like, wow, all right.
Well, and it was because it was an Agahnim required, and there were several clips of me maybe not so subtly rooting for a possible pedestal required seed, and it looked like it was for the longest time until it just, like you said, one item led to the other. You got the flippers, which unlocked Ice Palace, which got you both the mirror and the flute.
And then the Swamp Palace had both medallions that I needed, and then finally the Mystery Mire had the Ice Rod, and so it was just like barely not pedestal.
Yeah, for the longest time, I'm not going to lie to you, I was almost positive that this was a pet seed. But then, like you said, Applejack, you just kept on getting these little items here and there. And okay, oh, here's Fire Rod. Okay, well, here's Flute. Okay, oh, here's the medallions. And it's like, well, and then of course we saw someone check the pedestal and it just had the cape. So
yeah, the only thing that like made me sad about was I took blind all the way to the boss room and was like, should I beat this boss or not? And I decided not to. And then so for the next like 45 minutes, I was like, I should have just beat him.
See, and that's not quite as bad because we thought for a while it was going to be a pedestal required seed. Dragonstrike actually picked it up blind and then saved and quit out before dropping blind off at this room. And then he said he thought it was a pedestal seed, so he went back and had to dip down. So Dragonstrike, if you're listening, that I felt real bad for you at that point when you thought it might be a pedestal seed and had to dive all the way back down into the basement to get blind. That was rough.
I just recognized on here Caladrius, by the time he finishes up with Ganon's Tower, he will have 100% cleared this game, with the exception of some heart containers and his shields.
Wow. Well, I believe it.
Last game I commentated, we actually had 100% finisher. I think the V28 logic makes that more likely.
That's interesting. Do you know more about the new logic and how it changes things?
The biggest thing is you can get a key locked in a chest that would be, like, for example, you need a key to open a door in some dungeon. The key for that door could be in the chest that's in that room, just removing it from the game, essentially.
The one that I've gotten on multiple occasions is a small key inside of the big chest of Thieves' Town, effectively locking that room out. But
I'll be up for
it
20
changes
minutes
nothing.
in a seed.
But also, I loved it when that happened, because one of the times I was in there without a hammer, so I was like, "Oh well, the key is locked inside of that chest. I don't need the hammer to finish this. Cool, save myself some time and a re-dipping of this dungeon."
Yeah,
so
that's nice.
those things can help out quite a considerable amount. I do know they made it to where items are more likely to spread out a bit more in overworld instead of most of your progression being in dungeons.
Yeah, you could have fooled me with this seed though. Jeez.
Oh yeah. No,
Gloves.
the exception, not the rule.
Gloves.
The one thing I thought was really funny is I opened that one extra chest and got the book, and I was like, well, at least I have the book.
Cal got red mail in the powder room. Batman.
What room is that? I'm not sure.
Oh, the bat where you get normally half
really?
magic and vanilla. That had red mail. I believe powder was in Turtle Rock, which you guys got to go mode, so you didn't full clear.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, powder was in the vanilla big key chest. So, yeah.
Both
Caladrius. Apple skipped it.
Caladrius forgot to check the big chest in Swamp Palace and dipped out, so he didn't get his Bombos Bombos medallion. Went and tried to clear Turtle Rock.
Oh no! Gosh, yeah, I'm like
right there with you
positive.
guys.
I'm positive this seed was probably mean to a lot of people.
Dragonstrike is pretty confident that it wasn't that bad of a seed. So it seems pretty easy to say when you finished first on the restream there, Dragonstrike. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
No, like, I think, I guess it wasn't an awful seed. It's just if you made just like a few decisions a little bit differently, you could have been led like way in a circle or something like that.
You had to have a really good understanding of the way logic works and the way breadcrumbs work in Randomizer to have gotten through this seed decently. If you were shaky on your logic, this seed would have been a nightmare for you.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought I was good on my logic until this seed came along. Mind you, all my breadcrumbs were stale croutons, but...
Caladrius getting trolled a little bit by those crystal switches.
I'll have to go back and check this VOD out.
It was entertaining all the way through. I mean, you guys put on a heck of a show. You all did great. Even JTN, like I realized you had to forfeit, and you were a little bit behind in the logic, but you were still very entertaining. Apparently, the chat absolutely adores companion cursor. You had your cursor over your emulator for a good portion of your run.
Oh gosh. What was the forfeit gift well received?
Yes.
It's still waving and flapping its flag. So the question I have, I guess, for Applejack, is the seed still on your computer, or have you deleted it from existence yet?
No, it's still on my computer. I haven't. I'm not that fast.
Yeah.
Oh no! It does appear that the heartbreak is not over for Caladrius.
I know.
Chat pointing out that he's going up the gauntlet with no small keys.
Oh no.
Well, and we haven't checked. I don't think we checked all those treasure chests, so there might still be a key there, maybe.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah.
In the meantime, yeah, he's working his way through, kind of getting trolled through here a little bit.
The gauntlet is a pretty nasty part, and that right there, that is what I hate about this gauntlet, is those red, I'm not quite sure what they are, the horse people. Actually, those are lizard people, I guess. Lizifos, whatever they are. When the red ones, when you try to go up to get to him and he walks down, it's like, oh, thank you, that's exactly what I wanted from this.
That's funny. I always thought they looked like horses too.
Yeah, I always thought they were horses, but I do know someone in the past has corrected me in saying that they are lizards.
Huh.
Yeah, they're Lizalfos. Come on, guys.
Oh, are they really? Oh gosh, I never made that connection.
Just like the...
They're not actually Lizalfos. They're called something else. Zazans, I believe someone is saying in chat.
Zazans.
I also thought at one point they might be the Gorias from Zelda 2.
I think the wall masters in this version of Zelda are actually called Clutch.
Meat.
Ha! I like that name, Clutch.
Because you also have to realize this was still back early in, the Legend of Zelda games where there wasn't an established bestiary. Really, the only iconic enemies you had at this point in the game were, Octoroks and God, I'm blanking out on their names. The pig soldiers.
Oh yeah. And those
blanking?
guys, yeah, I'm right there with you.
Well, I guess it also had Zora in this one.
Is Zora.
Hey, and Zora didn't cheat you guys that bad this route. I mean, gave you
Moblin.
100.
Moblins, that's right. And I'm assuming those pigs with the pokey stickers that Caladrius just got by on the bridge. I'm assuming those are supposed to be Moblins in this game.
You know what? The one thing that really scared me this game was when I did fake flippers. I went up to the waterfall into Zora and then just assumed that the hobo didn't have like a glove upgrade or something like that, and went ahead and did Agahnim. And then I was just so scared for the longest time that if I'd have just gone to the hobo, like he might have had something like a flute or something. But fortunately, it wasn't. When I went up to him, I was just like, please don't have anything.
Whereas I went to the hobo, I'm like, please have what I need to move on.
Oh no, he had to go back and get keys.
Yes, he did. So he's gonna have to start that over again, and he gets the key like almost immediately.
So speaking of hobo, if you do fake flippers, how do you fake flipper out? Because I was trying and I couldn't get it.
You have to be 1 pixel below the pillar on the far right, and then you go diagonally down.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Interesting. I didn't know that one either. There's a lot of things I still don't know about this game.
There's a lot of tricks that can help you, some more so than others in certain game modes. Like Hammer Yump is really cool to see in open. However, it really shines in like Key Sanity.
Speaking of Key Sanity, I'll actually be on the commentary side at 8 o'clock today for our Key Sanity run, so make sure you come back for that one. Shameless plug.
I'm still here, guys. I swear. I'm just watching Caladrius and also sneezing my head off. So
That is fine, Vitasia. You do you. But yeah, as far as Applejack, JTN, do you guys have any other like real comments or things to say about this wonderfully fair and straightforward seed we've had this evening?
I have some ideas for a plan-do. That's pretty much all I could say at this point.
Nah, I thought it was a pretty fun seed, honestly. Like,
And in the end, that's what's important, is having fun with it.
Yeah.
My first hour was a blast, and then that last half hour is just the exact opposite.
Like, nowadays, I don't care about my time. I don't care what place I'm in. I do this to have fun. I know just the other day, me and a few friends decided to try to race a Randomizer Triforce hunt that was just the most hateful thing I've ever seen in my life, but it was hilarious. I had never seen packs of Lionels in the overworld until that scene.
that just sounds like a great big nope to me.
You know, the one thing I will say is I feel like the last several seeds I've played, whether it's a race or just on my own, that I'm always looking for the ice rod.
Yeah, that always seems to be one of the more clutch items to get. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's in 3 hours' time, is the next race. It is a Key Sanity. Thank you very much for that, JTN.
It's not just a simple Key Sanity, though. It's a Key Sanity and entrance shuffle, I believe.
Yes, which means it was created by Satan himself.
Yeah. Not, more power to people who can keep track of that much stuff. No, thank you.
I won't run that ever.
Not to say, and I don't want to scare off people who are interested, because everything is a little bit different. From my style of gaming, entrance randomizer holds no interest for me, but I know some people absolutely adore it because it adds that extra layer of a puzzle to the whole run. Same with Key Sanity. A lot of people are scared of Key Sanity because of the name. Key Sanity, it sounds imposing. It's not that bad. If anything, it's even more fun than open at times.
So why do you say that?
Because the big thing is not only are you worried about your items, you're worried about the key locations, and because of how the keys are scattered all about, you could find a very interesting set of progression. And in fact, typically, your progression breadcrumbs are not from the items you pick up, but from the keys you pick up. So you worry more about key logic than you do item logic, which can actually be in ways a little bit easier, in some ways harder. It all depends on how it wants to dish it out to you. Also, there are some dungeons that straight up you don't even need to find any keys for them. Or some you may only need to find one. Yeah, Mire and Ice Palace, if you didn't know, you actually don't need to find any keys to get through those dungeons. You can just go off the keys that you pick up off of enemy drops or from jars.
And then there's situations like Swamp Palace,
which you only need one key to get into it and to do it, but that one key can be anywhere in the world.
Yeah, for me, I will race opens, I will watch Key Sanities and entrances.
Thanks.
All right.
Well, thanks so much for having me, y'all. Good luck on the race later.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for hanging out, and great job. As you said, this is one of your first few races. You got into this fairly early, or fairly recently. So great job on what you did. Very proud of you, and keep it up, man.
Thanks a lot. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks. See you for the next race.
Yep, that was AppleJackSix. If you guys liked what he had to say or his racing style, go ahead. Best way to support him is to give him a like or a follow, not a like. That's Twitter. Give him a follow on Twitch, though.
Yeah, head over to his MySpace page and become his friend.
I'm in his top 8. That's still a thing. Okay, I'm old. I'm old!
So Caladrius finishing up Agahnim here. What? What are words flying across the bottom of the screen there?
Yep, Caladrius about to take on the big pig here.
Let's see how well he does here and what he finishes with. As of right now, we are up to 61st place. So Caladrius still not going to come in last. So that's very admirable right there. I would probably be coming in last in this race, more than likely.
What's more important than even coming in last is having the perseverance to tough it out even after you've seen all these stop guns. I mean,
oh dear, his those bats giving him quite the frighten.
He's just tanking the damage. All right, we need everyone to give Caladrius your love and support right now.
Oh no! Please tell me he still has a fairy. No, he used it earlier. No.
Oh, feels bad, man.
Oh.
And he's dropping right down without getting the fairy that's in the tree down below.
He can do it. I have faith in him.
You can do it!
I believe he got the hits in he needed to put him in the next phase, so here we are.
Well, that's good. He's doing better so far this round anyway.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely think he's got it this time around, as long as he can avoid the bats and the... Oh, he's got blues. He's good. He is good to go.
Don't know if he knows about the lamp glitch, the torch glitch. Otherwise, he's be pulling out his lamp instead of his silvers.
Well, he still has plenty of time to switch after this, although it does appear that he's not going to worry about it too much. Oh, he's lining up for a good double here. There we go.
Very nicely done. And
oh!
Nope.
Just narrowly misses his chance to finish him right there. Gonna wait for it to come in, and... Oh, here we go. Finish him off, buddy. And there he goes. We'll get his official time here in just a few seconds. Looks like Caladrius is going to finish in 62nd place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 46 minutes, and 48 seconds. Everyone give it up for Caladrius for that clutch finish. Did very, very well. We're going to see if we can get him in here for an interview and wrap it up. Oh, dear.
Fast forward.
There's a time-space paradox.
And just waiting on him to get into the waiting room here.
And just once again, while we're waiting for him to pop in, right here is our runners for this evening. I'm going to put it there in chat for you guys. If you enjoyed their gameplay, if you enjoyed what they had to say about this run, please go give them a follow, show them some love. And also, once again, I want to thank our trackers for the evening. We had Math Girl and Number Play, and here is their links right here in chat. Show them some love as well. And here shortly, we should be getting Caladrius up in here, hanging out with us.
And there he is, Sir
Hello.
Caladrius. How you feeling after that scene?
Man, that was terrible. I messed up so much.
You definitely had some rough spots, but you came through in the end, and that is the most important part. You were definitely right up there neck and neck with Dragonstrike there for a little bit. You just had a few shortcomings. The biggest one, obviously, and it's the first one I do want to kind of touch on, is that Bombos medallion.
Yeah, I'm actually meant to go into clear, but I forgot after I got the items in there. Otherwise, I would have done Misery Mire first and then went to Turtle Rock and would have got probably like half an hour of my time.
Yeah, that was kind of a big one. And then the other one, of course, was the blind pedestal pull. You weren't the only one. There was another blind pedestal pull there as well.
Yeah, I was already there, and I figured, why not go for it?
Well, you were right there neck and neck with at least the leaders that we were watching on the restream. So the blind pedestal pull, we all thought it was a pedestal seed at that point in time. So no shame there. Absolutely.
Yeah, up until the fire rod was found, like it was completely up in the air. That like it was almost certainly a ped pull. And then fire rod then of course led into getting the flute, which then of course led into getting your the flippers led to getting the medallions, because the medallions were all in swamp. But yeah.
Yeah, the start of the seed was also terrible. Do Aga for the gauntlets in pod.
Yeah, that was a rough
Oh,
one.
man.
That one threw JTN for a bit of a loop.
I thought everyone had trouble with that. I also made the wrong decisions there by going to Hype Cave first and digging game.
Well, and it's not necessarily because unless there was a key in that one, then pod could have been just nothing. So
That's
it's
true.
really hard to blame you for that one.
Yeah, and I went up Ganon's tower without a small key. Oh man, twice gauntlet.
Yeah, that we were thinking, oh, okay, he's finally through, being bombos.
I thought the same. I thought my embarrassment was at an end.
But hey, I just want you to know, chat was rooting for you all the way through there, and you did an amazing job in the end.
Thank you.
Took a slight spill to Ganon, but you didn't bother with going to get another fairy or going to pick up some more, potions or whatnot. You're just like, nope, right back in. Let's finish this fight.
I still had 2 pots left, so I figured, why not? I can do this.
So what do you think of that early butter sword?
The seed just kept throwing swords, and I thought, this is going to be a good seed. And then the rest happened. Yeah, it was very early. Made it a bit easier.
Absolutely. Definitely made a lot of the fighting easier, especially since you were a bit of a glass cannon in the beginning. A lot of the hearts were backloaded. I asked this of everyone that I get the chance to interview here. What in this seed was probably your favorite part?
Well, the early butter sword, obviously. That was great for going through the rest of this.
I still have yet to have someone say the end.
Oh god,
it's
yeah.
over, yeah.
It's been a long time since I went past 230.
Well, and with a seed like that, keep in mind the top tier runners that for example, finish at the end of the tournament.
Christos is like 150 something.
Yeah.
So I don't think if you finish within a reasonable amount of time of them, I think you're still doing okay.
When it was 145 and I still saw no one finish with the likes of Christos in there, I was like, well, everyone else is struggling. I'm doing fine.
I didn't even see where Andy finished. Do we know?
I think he left early.
Yeah.
He didn't start.
Oh, he did. Okay, I know. I saw him enter, but I didn't know if he stuck around.
All right. Well, any last minute thoughts, Caladrius, before we allow you to go away and delete this horrible feed from your
Well, it's going to be up in the tube, so my embarrassment is forever. Well, yeah. Thanks for commentating, and thanks for the tracker for keeping track of everything, and thanks to Twitch chat for watching.
Absolutely. And just let everyone out there know this is not all the fun that we have in store for you for today. Just to let you know what we have coming up. We do have at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's roughly in a little under 3 hours, we do have a Key Sanity entrance randomizer. That's on Speed Gaming 3. And then at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a Key Sanity on Speed Gaming. And so that's what we got coming up tonight. If you want to run in those, feel free. If you want to watch them, we'll be here with awesome commentary, trackers, and runners to keep you entertained. And we definitely want to thank you all very much for hanging out with us. So, Vitasia, you got any other words for us?
No other words other than get rid of this seed if anyone is running it still. It was horrible. But other than that, if you are just listening into us and you think, maybe I don't want to do it, this seed, a little bit nervous, go ahead, join us on Discord. This is one of the most welcoming communities that the internet has, and those of us who have been around a while have seen the internet and know how horrible the internet can normally be, but we're not that way. Just come, join, be a part of our community, and we'll help you out every step of the way, I promise. There's our Discords in chat, so please go ahead, give us a shot, just ask questions, and then eventually get into running yourself. It's a lot of fun, and this is not one of those communities that's going to be on you for anything. We'll help you out every step of the way.
Absolutely, man. Couldn't have said it better myself. Once again, here are our runners, and here are our commentators and trackers. If you were curious as to who did what tonight, although the commentators does say return of the Hefe was tracking, he was substituted by Number Play. I'll be putting his twitch.tv in here in just a moment. But you know, if you liked what you saw, support the runners. They're awesome. They do wonderful work for us, and I just hope everyone had a wonderful time tonight. But yeah, Vitasia, thank you so much. He's awesome. You know, go follow him as well. Wonderful human being. And that's it for me, Zombie Punk, and I thank you all very much. Last word, sir?
No, just returning the favor, follow Zombie Punk as well. He is an amazing co-commentator. I appreciate our time together this afternoon, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody, and you all have a good afternoon. We'll see you again today.
Peace.